everyone, it's Melissa, also known as stitchermel, here on YouTube, as well as on Instagram and on my blog at stitchermel.com. It has been amazingly 3 weeks since my last video. I can't believe it. If you follow me on Instagram, you know that I was having some issues with my back, and I think I may have posted in my community tab here on YouTube as well, alerting people 2 weeks ago that I wasn't going to have a video to post because I was battling some back spasms, and it took a couple of weeks before that all finally cleared up, and I even ended up having to resort to getting some Flexeril, a muscle relaxer, to try and get things to settle down. But as a result, I didn't stitch for almost 2 weeks, because if you've ever been on a muscle relaxer, that is not conducive for good stitching time. Well, I suppose it would be conducive if you like frogging. I don't like frogging, so I opted to just not stitch while I was having the back issues and taking the muscle relaxers. So thankfully I am still working from home, so I didn't have to worry about needing to be out and driving and things like that. So I was still able to work, albeit not as productively quite as I normally would, just because of the back issues, but working was something I could do. And since stitching is a hobby, I opted not to do that at night so I could completely rest my back so that I would be able to work the next day. So since I am a single income, I can't afford to be without my paycheck. So yeah. But anyway, that is all cleared up, and I am back stitching again, and I am back with another floss tube. This one is a little bit later than normal. I am filming this on Sunday late in the afternoon. All day today I was at the, well, not all day, but for several hours, I was on the 25th anniversary bash for Acorns and Threads, which is a wonderful LNS up in Portland, Oregon. I have been fortunate enough to attend one of their in-person events before the pandemic hit, but the last two I have attended virtually. I will also be attending the Stitch Summit in the fall that they host, and that one will still also be virtual. So hopefully next year we can start having in-person events again, and I can head up to Portland and see Janine and all the staff there at Acorns and Threads, and some of the great Portland area stitchers that I have come to know and love. So yeah, I'm excited for that. And I will tell you a little bit, I'll recap the event a little bit more later in the video. But yeah, so I just wanted to kind of catch you guys up with where I've been and why I haven't been posting a floss tube. And as late as I am recording this, this probably won't go up until tomorrow, which would be Monday, the 28th of June, which also just happens to be my best friend, Tracy of Tracy Stitches, who is Wow Princess on Instagram. It is her birthday tomorrow. Well, by the time you're watching this, it's her birthday today. So definitely be sure to head over to her Instagram account and leave her some birthday love. She is fortunate enough to be able to spend the day with her family today. So yeah, but just be sure and give her some wonderful birthday wishes. She is so special to me. We have been friends for, gosh, 20 plus years now, I guess. Yeah, we've known each other for about 22 years, I think. We met online through a message board, and we met in person for the first time in 2000, I believe. I believe that's right, in Seattle. And we've been best friends for probably 15 or 16 years. We were just friends for the first few years we knew each other, and then it didn't take us long after we started hanging out together more to become best friends. And so, yeah, but anyway, I've rattled on enough, but happy birthday, Tracy. I love you so much. Thank you for being the best friend a girl could ever ask for. And I look forward to spending a lot more birthdays as friends as we progress through our lives. All right, so enough of that. So I do have a finish. I finished this on the 25th, I believe. So just a few days ago. But I finished my Jane Marshall 1857 sampler from Hands Across the Sea. I actually pulled this out. I am in a stitching group on Facebook, and the event that they posted for this month was the Sal of Sals. So our monthly stitch along was to pull out all your old stitch alongs and hopefully finish some of them up, or at least show them some love. And I was getting close enough on this one that I actually finished it. So yay! I stitched this on 40 count mallow linen using the DMC conversion provided in the chart. And on my Stitch for Stash challenge, this gives me a $14 finish credit based on the stitch count. And since I use the DMC instead of the silk, no bonus credit for me on it. So if you use a specialty fiber, you do get a 10% bump, but I use DMC on this one, so no bonus. But I am happy to have this one finished. It's so cute. So cute and so pretty. Cute because it's tiny. It's a tiny little sampler, but pretty because it's a beautiful sampler. So yeah, that takes care of that one. That was the only finish I've had because, like I say, I went the better part of 2 weeks without doing any stitching. I think it was either 12 or 13 days I did not stitch at all. So even though it's been 3 weeks since my last video, it's only been about a week's worth of stitching. So now we'll move on to whips. And this was actually a new start. I don't believe I had started this yet when I filmed my last video. I think I started it the next day. This is Stitchy Stars from Lori Holt. Love that. I may have talked about it as being in my plans in the last video, but I have actually started it now. And I may have started it already, who knows? It's been so long I can't remember. But anyway, here's where I'm at on it. I've got 3 of the 7 blocks. Is it 7? Yeah, 3 of the 7 blocks completely finished, and then the 4th one started. The chart does have a DMC conversion on it. It's charted with weeks, but they give a DMC conversion on the back. But I didn't have all of the DMC colors they called for. Well, I mean, I have them, but they're already allocated to other projects. So I just picked similar DMCs. So I think my pink is a little more pink, where theirs is their choice was a little bit of a rosier pink, and the aqua color they used was a little bit darker, and I used just a little bit lighter, like a shade lighter, but I think it's still really, really pretty. So yeah, so that is my Stitchy Stars. Okay, next up, and this is a sal that I'm working on, and I am, because of the back issues, woefully behind on this month's installment. This is Jessie Watson circa 1816 by Hands Across the Sea. I am stitching this as part of the Jessie Watson Autism Sal, which is hosted and coordinated by Barbara, the Raspberry Stitcher. And she has it marked off, you know, which areas to work on each month. And for this month, I should be working on this row of numbers and this row of alphabet. So basically finishing up the last of the alphabet. And then of course the border down to that area. Well, yeah, I haven't gotten much done. I did bring down this border some more on this side, and I did get started on the numbers, but yeah, I'm gonna have to try and catch up on this one because I don't know that I will get all of that done before the end of the month, since today is already the 28th. And I have other things I'm working on right now instead of this. But that's okay, I can catch up at some point. And you know what, if I don't, I don't. I can keep working on it after the sal ends. I do want to try and mostly keep up with it though, because it's such a great, some of my favorite stitchers are stitching on this. I mean, I have quickly considered Barbara a friend, and I had never met Barbara well, not that we've met in person, but I had never really chatted with her or anything before this Sal started. And now I watch her videos and it's like watching an old friend. In fact, we were chatting about that in YouTube comments earlier in the week, that catching up with each other is like catching up with an old friend. So yeah, I just love her to death. And she was actually on the Zoom call today too. So yeah, that was nice seeing her there. But anyway, so I do really want to try and keep up with this one as much as I can. Oh, was that upside down? Yeah, that's upside down. I do want to try and keep up with it as much as I can. She started this because she has a son who is living with autism. And I have lots of other dear friends who either have children on the spectrum or full-blown diagnoses. And so, yeah, it's a cause very near and dear to me. So, yeah. It impacts so many lives. And as my friend Niecy Lynn always says, we need to talk about these things so that we can end the stigma around mental health issues. I mean, I make no bones about the fact that I live with anxiety and I take an anxiety medication every day, and I am not ashamed of that. It helps me cope and it helps me not get in my head so much, because when I get in my head, it's not a good thing. And so I am very thankful that we have scientists and researchers who develop these medicines, and the medicines are getting better and better. They don't have a lot of the horrible side effects they had back in earlier years. So it is very easy to live your life on these medications. And so, yeah, I'll get off my soapbox about that now, but I agree, Niecy, and keep preaching the good word, girl, that we need to talk about these things. Okay, the next whip I don't have a finished picture of the chart. I don't believe there was one when I got this kit. There may have been, but if there is, I have lost it. All I have is the actual chart and the instructions. But this was a limited edition release from the 2019 market by Brenda Gervais of With Thy Needle and Thread. And this is Ode to the Ort 2. And I am stitching this 1/1 on, I hope that's focusing. It looks a little fuzzy. Anyway, I'm stitching this 1/1 on 28 count mushroom Lugana. And I'm using the called for fibers. And it was called for to be stitched on this size fabric 1/1. I didn't bring it out here. It's back in my craft room, but there's a little metal tin that goes with this, that you finish this as a little top for the tin. And it's a little Ort box. And so, yeah, I don't know that I am brave enough to attempt the finishing on that. I might have to send this either to Keepsakes or to Acorns and Threads and have, someone else finish that for me, because I'm just not, I can do little ornaments and things like that, but I don't know about doing a box top. That might be a little more than I'm willing to tackle. But anyway, this one is getting super close. I need to add the little berries here and add some little berries here. And then there's one little last berry bit down here, and then this will be done. So yeah, I would really like to get this finished sooner rather than later. So that is Ode to the Ort 2. There wasn't a one that she had either the year before or maybe 2 years before. That was a little basket, I think. That was called Ode to the Ort. And so this was Ode to the Ort 2. But yeah, the only way you could get it at this point would be to maybe find a shop that might have one in the back room or something. Or to buy one that someone has already stitched and they're just selling their chart, but you wouldn't have the little tin that goes with it. And I can't remember if the tin was included in the kit or if I had to buy that separately. But anyway. Okay, so my next whip is, of course, the piece I started today, and that is the Acorns and Threads 25th birthday bash chart. And this was an exclusive designed by Hello from Liz Matthews, and she was with us in the chat the whole time today, which was absolutely lovely getting to chat with her. She was so encouraging, cheering us on as we were showing our progress in the show and tell section near the end of the event. So, but yeah, look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? I'm trying to not have any glare on that. Sorry. And she provided us the information that she got this frame at Michael's. And so I went online, and sadly my local store did not have it in stock, but I found one a couple of towns over that did have it. So I put in an order for one for curbside pickup. So I will need to go in the next day or two over there and pick it up, which actually is a good excuse. There's a Trader Joe's not far from that one, and I have not been to a Trader Joe's since before the pandemic. So I might dart into Trader Joe's while I'm over in that part of the county. So, but for those of who say, oh, I want that chart, it is exclusive right now to those of us who attended the event today. Liz did say that she will be releasing a slightly modified version. This one was very specific to acorns and threads because, as you see, it's got an acorn border here. And I don't know if you can see it, but on the little house it says A+T for acorns and threads. And then she put the oak leaves here because of the acorns. But she said she would be releasing a slightly modified version of this at some point in the future. And I saw Janine say, she replied to someone's comment on Instagram asking about it, and she said that it should be available to non-participants in about a year. So I'm guessing she's keeping it exclusive to us for the 12 months, to those of us who attended it. And it was a big group. I believe Jerry said at the beginning that there were maybe 201 participants, but that was total participants, not just paid attendees, because a lot of designers popped in off and on throughout the day to wish Janine and the whole crew at Acorns and Threads a happy birthday. I know they said at one point they had shipped out 155 kits though, so there were quite a few of us who got this. But yeah, it was so fun seeing all the designers pop in, and I probably shouldn't start naming names because I know I will leave someone out. But a few that I remember off the top of my head who popped in, Stephanie Webb from Lindy Stitches did. Well, I think she may have been there the whole time, as was Michelle Bendy of Bendy Stitchy. And then Beth Twist popped in from Heartstring Samplery, and Jeannette Douglas popped in. Cecilia Turner from Heart in Hand. Beth Seal, I had to think of her last name, Beth Seal from Summer House Stitchworks. Kathy Haberman from Hands-On Design. Frony from Frony Ritter popped in. Oh gosh, I'm sure I'm leaving someone out, and I feel horribly. Oh, Janine McGowan. How could I forget Janine? Love that girl. Janine from the Blue Flower. She popped in to say hello. Yeah. Like I say, I'm sure I'm leaving someone out. I probably should not have gone down that road. But anyway, it was fun seeing them all pop in and wishing everyone at Acorns and Threads a very happy birthday. But anyway, so here is my start on needle in hand. I've got about half of the full border in, but I got that outer edge all the way in. So, yep, this is such a cute piece. And the color palette is gorgeous. Let me pull out my fibers. Oops, runaway peel. How beautiful are those colors? Absolutely gorgeous. This palette just has my name written all over it. In fact, because my best friend Tracy attended as well, and as soon as we all started looking at, the contents and stuff, she texted me and she goes, oh yeah, this is totally you. And she was right. This is totally me. And the fabric we're using is bisque from Color and Cotton, and I am doing it on the 36 count linen. There was also an Ada option as well, which I'm going to assume was 18 count since it was charted for 36 count linen. So, yep, but love that. So that is my needle in hand. But if you've never been to an Acorns and Threads event, I just cannot rave about them enough. They are so wonderful. Jerry is the event coordinator, and she does such an amazing job pulling everything together. And we played bingo throughout the event. There were lots of door prizes given out. In fact, I think maybe 20 door prizes, because they were, if memory serves, I think they drew 4 tickets each hour, and it was a 5-hour event. So yeah, that would have been 20 door prizes, which is fantastic. Okay, so that takes care of all my whips. So now we are going to move on to haul. And I got a fairly good amount for someone who's on Stitch from Stash. But I will say this. Oh, in fact, I have a few things I didn't. I'll have to show them next time. I bought some Etsy charts that I forgot to print out to show. But anyway, on my Stitch from Stash, to give you an update on that, I have had the 3 finishes this month, so I earned some credit. I give myself a $25 a month budget, and that basically covers anything I want to buy. That's going to cover threads, charts, fabric, any of the things. Subscriptions are not included as long as you were subscribed to said subscription prior to signing up for Stitch from Stash. So I am in, for example, the BeStitchMe Fabric of the Month. That does not count against my Stitch from Stash because I was in it already. So, but the bulk of the things I'm going to show you today were things I had purchased prior to starting Stitch from Stash on June 1st. They are just things that have come in after June 1st. And a lot of these I've had now for a couple of weeks already, but since I haven't been recording a FlossTube, they've just been sitting here on the table waiting for me to record a FlossTube. So the first thing, I got this adorable needle minder. It says, I run on coffee and sarcasm, which is pretty much the truth. Although, I have a big glass of water here right now. So, and yes, I am a Harry Potter nerd. So this is my always Gervais tumbler. But anyway, so this is, I got this on Etsy, and the shop is a Hare Affair, and it's H-A-R-E, like a rabbit. A Hare Affair, and they are in Ohio. And this is like the laser cut wood type of needle minder. I absolutely love wooden needle minders, especially these laser cut styles. So yeah, so I'm very happy I can finally use this. Yay! Okay, so that's the needle minder. Now this is, I'll save that for last since I purchased that since Stitch from Stash. Okay, this was definitely before Stitch from Stash because this was an order I placed for the attic, and I wanted to try Seraphim Fabrics after hearing so many people rave about it, and the color I wanted, they had to order it. And so this order probably took about a month to get, since they had to order the fabric, wait for the fabric from Seraphim, then they got the fabric, then they had to cut the fabric and all the things. So yeah, and then the post office lost it for a week, but I finally got it on either Friday or yesterday. I can't even remember now. Friday maybe. But yeah, I was thankful it showed up because it was not an inexpensive order. But anyway, so the first thing in this was Holiday Berries from the Scarlett House. I'm trying to not have a reflection. I should have pulled this out. Sorry about that, guys. Isn't that beautiful? Tanya, you knocked it out of the park with this one. I absolutely love it. I love berry bowls anyway. And yeah, doing this on the black fabric, genius. Now, that being said, I did ask the attic to kit this for me. They did not have any of the Weeks Onyx linen, which is what this calls for. It calls for 35 count onyx. And so I asked if they had the 40 count, and they did not. So I said, you know what? I trust you guys at the attic, so just kit it with whatever substitutions you need to make, just kind of keeping it true to the feel of the original, which is what they did. So the fabric they sent me is 40 count. Oh, that's not, yeah, no, that's got to come out. Sorry. They sent me 40 count anthracite, which this would be a great chalkboard fabric. It's like that perfect kind of dusty black, or like chalky black. So yeah. And I think I would have to pull it out to see for sure, but I think this is the same fabric I kitted up my Cersei Girl Pandemic sampler with, wasn't it? No, I thought about this one, but then I went with another one. Yeah, I had thought about this one, though. I had it in my cart at one point. So yeah, I'm excited to try this, and as you can see, this is a Zweigart-based linen. I don't know if this is directly from Zweigart, or if it is from... Yeah, I guess it must be. They just say it's a Newcastle linen in the color anthracite. And there's definitely no modeling or anything. It's a solid fabric. So I'm guessing this must be directly from Zweigart. Whew. Words. But one of the things I love about the attic is they cut to size. So I said, please kit this up for me. So they noted what it's for. So it's for holiday berries. And that size of that pattern is roughly 4 by 4, and they're allowing a 3-inch margin, and so they cut it to size. So this is an 18 by 14. I wonder why. Oh, so they didn't cut it to size. I'm sorry, my mistake. Because an 18 by 14, that would be a fat 1/8. Yeah, but they marked what it was for, which I do love that they did that. And then they sent me mostly they called for fibers, but they did have to substitute one. But the other thing that I love, oops, let me hold these back up so you can get a better look at those. The one thing I also love that they always do is if they make a substitution, they tell you sub this for whatever. So in this case, we are subbing Green with Envy, which is, what company? Green with Envy is a Gentle Art. No shock, I suppose, that they were out of that. But this is a classic Colorworks bean sprout. So I'm going to be using that instead, which I think looks beautiful with these other colors. So they always do. And I believe Carolyn put this one together for me. She's the person I was emailing back and forth with. And she sent me a photo with the fibers laid out on the fabric and was like, does this work for you? Which was awesome. And I was like, looks great. Package it up. And so she did. So yeah, so that is all for holiday berries. Let me get this back in the bag so I don't lose anything. Okay, I'll take care of those. And the 2 fabrics I ordered, and I will pull these out of the bags to show you, but I just thought this was really interesting. These are actually the same color, just different counts of fabric. Can you see the difference? How one is a lot pinker than the other? I find that so interesting. How the fabrics take dyes. And these are both Zweigart linens. So you would expect, being Zweigart, being a linen, they would take the dye the same, but they clearly do not. So the first one is Seraphim Chai in 46 count. And I got a fat 1/8 of that. The second one, also Chai, a fat 1/8. This is fat quarter. If I said fat 1/8, this is a fat quarter. This is a fat 1/8 of Chai also, but in 56 count. See how much pinker that looks? Isn't that amazing? I hope that's showing up on camera, the difference, because it is definitely much pinker than this one. This is more of what I would consider a true kind of tan neutral, and this is very much a pink tan neutral. But yeah, they're beautiful. Like I said, I've never stitched on Seraphim, so I'm excited to try it. Definitely going to need the readers for this 56 count. Definitely. Well, I'll need the readers for the 46 too. I mean, there's no denying that. I need my readers for anything pretty much these days. Even 28 count, I need my readers. Not so much to see the whole, but just to make things crisper as I'm stitching. But yeah, so we'll see how I do on the 56. I've never stitched on anything higher than 40. So these are both new counts for me. Okay, and then the next thing I have was May 28th was the last Friday night fight night that Brandy had in her Facebook group for BeStitchMe, and I did pick up a few things there. One I got was some of her silk to try. I've never tried her silk. This is 50 yards, which would be plenty to do most anything. And it doesn't have a color name on it, but isn't that beautiful? It's almost like a periwinkle blue. So pretty. So I need to figure out what I'm going to use this for, but yeah, that's gorgeous. And it was very reasonably priced, I felt like. I don't remember exactly now what I paid for it, but I remember thinking at the time, wow, that seems very inexpensive for 50 yards of silk. So I'm excited to try that. Then I did manage to snag 3 fabrics during that Friday night fight night. And I think I probably went for, I actually went for 4, but I missed the 4th one. Someone managed to get in right ahead of me. And I ended up putting mine as next, but I didn't get it. But this one, oh, what I was going to say is I think maybe I ended up going for a few more fabrics than I normally would have because I knew I had Stitch from Stash starting. So this was like, okay, gotta get some fabric. Because as I mentioned in my last video, it's probably going to be challenging buying fabric on Stitch from Stash. Okay, so the first one I have is a 40 count even weave, which is Vertil, which is a 100% cotton even weave, and this color is Peanut. Isn't that pretty? It's just a nice, really neutral. It'll be great for samplers, and as you know, I'm a sampler girl. So yeah. And these, of course, are all Zweigart based fabrics from Brandy. So yeah, so that's Peanut. And again, that's a 40 count. Excuse me. The next one, I have a yard of this in a different count. What count? I think, the yard I have is in 40 count Vertil. So this is 32 count Lugana in Vanilla Latte. And y'all know I love this color so much. Absolutely love it. And if you've missed it in my earlier videos, I actually named this fabric. I won a contest on Brandy's Facebook group to name it. And I don't love it because I named it. I love it because it is just an amazing color fabric. It's just such a gorgeous, perfect neutral. It's got just enough color that it's not a boring white or cream. And it's got a very subtle modeling. So yeah, it's just, it gives you just that perfect amount of interest on the fabric without being just a plain fabric. And so yeah, so on this one, I forgot to show on the other one, I paid $20 for this one. And that's what I paid for the other one as well. Both of those are $20. And they're both fat quarters. Now this next one, I think I got this as a next. I think I had missed this one initially, but I put myself as a next and I ended up getting it. Yay. This is an 18 by 34 cut of 32 count Jobelin in the Paradise color. Gorgeous. I mean, come on. How beautiful is that? It's like a perfect, almost sea glass color. Although she's got a sea glass in her line and it is more just green. Whereas this has a lot of the blue and turquoisey colors, as you can see, modeled through it. But, I'm so glad I got this piece of fabric. I don't know yet what I'm going to do with it, but it's just beautiful. I mean, literally looking at it in my camera right now, it just doesn't do it justice. It's far more beautiful in person than what is showing up on the camera. But yeah, and I'm excited. 18 by 34, I can do a lot with that size. I mean, even if I cut that in 2, that's going to be 2 17 by 18 inch pieces. That's a good size. I can do a lot with that. And that one was $22. Can you believe it, for that much fabric? Crazy. Okay, so the next one, this is also a BeStitchMe fabric, but it is not from Friday Night Fight Night. This is the June fabric of the month. I got this on Friday, and I believe most people probably have theirs by now, but if you don't, and you do not want to have a spoiler, I am about to show the June neutral fabric of the month. So you have been warned. And I get mine in 40 count Vertil, and this is called, oops, it's unfolding. Oh, you got a little sneak peek. This is called Grog. Wrinkly. There we go. Isn't that great? Again, just a really great neutral. Perfect for samplers. Yeah, I love that. And these don't have a price on them, but if memory serves, I think it's $20 maybe. Because I think I pay like $23.75 with shipping, and I think the $3.75 is the shipping. So I think it's $20 a month. And this is a fat quarter. Okay, for those who looked away, if you didn't want to be spoiled, you can come back. Okay, now the last bit of haul I'm going to show you, this was purchased after my Stitch from Stash kicked in, so I did have to spend $16 out of my budget. And this is actually an older pattern, and this is copyright 2009, but it is just so cute. And I had wanted one to purchase this one years ago when it first came out, and I never got around to it. And I had honestly forgotten kind of about them, but my bestie Tracy is stitching the one with the snowman right now. And it reminded me how much I always loved the Santa Claus one. And so I thought, man, those are probably so long out of print, I'll probably never be able to find one. Well, dun, 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 Silver Needle to the rescue. They had it. In the original kit form, so it's got the fabric and the buttons. It does not include the fibers. And I think I probably have most of these in looking at the list. The only one I know I don't have for sure is Garden Gate from Gentle Art. And the only reason I know I don't have that one is because I pulled my Garden Gate to use on Midnight Ride that I finished up earlier in the month. And it took the entire skein. I think I have one length of 2 strands left of Garden Gate, and that's it. So I don't think that's quite going to work for that. I'm hoping, though, that will work for the Le Poulet chart that I showed. I think I showed it in my last video that I got from Abby. Oh, maybe I didn't. And I don't have it here. I didn't pull it. I know I posted it on Instagram, though. But yeah, and it calls for Garden Gate, but it's only for 2 little blocks. So it would be like 32 stitches. And I'm thinking that one length of those 2 strands will be enough to stitch those. So I will probably use the last little bit of Garden Gate I have left on that. But I believe this has DMC conversion. Let me double check. It does. So yeah, so DMC 844. And you know what? I may actually, depending on how many of the overdyes I have, or don't have, I might stitch this with DMCs. If I have the red, it's Lancaster Red, which is the Santa suit and the Santa hat, I might use that. And let's see, and I don't know if I have Weeks Sand. That is what the deer is stitched with. So I might substitute an overdye for that if I have something that looks right. But for like the antlers and the little greenery and stuff like that, I'm just going to use DMC. And for the white and black, I'm not going to spend money for overdyes for those. Yep. In my mind, unless it's something where you're really going to see the variegation, then kind of why spend the money for a fancy floss? and whitewash and onyx both weeks. They just don't have any variegation really. So yeah, I'll just use 310 and either B5200 or Blanc DMC for those. But anyway, so that's that. And so that is the last of my haul. Let's see. And you know, honestly, I have been so distracted with everything going on. I did not have a chance to go out and look for new FlossTubers to point out. I did want to say congratulations to, I don't think I did this in the last video, but I know I mentioned them in my last video, but congratulations to Brenda and Karen of Fox and Rabbit on hitting 1,000 subscribers. I got a lovely note from Karen on Instagram thanking me for the shout out in my last video for their channel. So you're more than welcome, Karen, and thank you for the sweet note. And oh, also Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch. Go by and watch her latest video, and girl, congratulations. So happy for you. And also a big shout out and congratulations to Abby, the Top Knot Stitcher. They both have very big news going on in their lives this past week. And so I will let you go. And I have not looked at Abby's FlossTube channel to see if she posted a video, but I know she posted about it on Instagram. So you can catch her news on Instagram if it's not on her FlossTube channel. But I did see for sure that Liz posted her news on her channel. So, but anyway, I hope everyone has a wonderful and safe 4th of July coming up this weekend if you're in the United States. I am fortunate I have a 4-day weekend coming up. Yay! So I think what I may do, depending upon how, what all I've got going on and how things are going, I might try and record a whip parade and another video of a kit parade since I've got a nice long holiday weekend. We'll see. It's going to be a lot of work pulling it all out. I mean, I've got it pulled out, but like moving things around to get it in a situation where it's handy for me for recording purposes. And given I've been having back issues, it will all just depend on how my back is feeling because I don't want to risk hurting my back again. But if I'm feeling up to it, I will try to record a mid-year whip parade and a kit parade as well. So we'll see. But all right, that's it for me for now, and I will chat with you all next time. Bye-bye.